How's it going? Mr. Helfon here with your update on The Great Gatsby. Hope you enjoyed chapter one. I got to tell you, if you did, the rest of the book is easier. Chapter one can be a little tricky, but the main purpose of it is just to meet all of our main characters and set up where we are and what's going on. So let's just jump right in and meet our new characters. We start with our narrator over here. That would be Nick Carraway, aka Spider Man, again. But Nick, I want to be clear on this. He's not rich. He's telling all of this to us in the past tense, like it all already happened. And he's just saying, I remember it all from that summer. But he does know the Buchanans. Tom, he knew in college, and Daisy's like his second cousin, once removed. I don't even know what that means. But they are phenomenally rich, and Nick just moved to New York from the Midwest to try and learn the stock bond business, Wall Street. And so he goes and meets them and Daisy's friend Jordan Baker. We don't really know what her deal yet is, except that she's nosy as all get out. Tom is clearly extremely arrogant and full of himself and more than a little racist. And Daisy, I don't know. What do you think about a person who says, I hope my baby daughter will grow up to be a beautiful little fool? Really not sure, but she seems very wealthy, very privileged, and not very happy. Now, I want to be clear on where we are. Take a look at this map. This is New York City. All the gray area that you see here is water. Okay, that's Long Island Sound. What I've got here is who lives where. Tom and Daisy live in their fabulous mansion here in East Egg, which is really the Hamptons. And across the little courtesy bay, you've got West Egg, where Nick lives in a little shack that just happens to border Gatsby's fabulous mansion. Um, and of course, where New York that everybody thinks of, Wall Street and all that, that's all uptown. That's all over here in Manhattan. So to get there, you either take the train all the way this way, or you take the road leading the same way. And you notice that they cross right here, but we'll get to that in chapter two. I did want to take a minute to point out that the book specifies that East Egg is considered the more fashionable of the two. And it's also clear why. Okay. They say East Egg are the old money families and West Egg are the new money families. Now, I want to be clear what that means. When you're talking about new money, you're talking about people, where'd my cursor go? You're talking about people who have new money, people who are more recently rich. In other words, people who earned their millions of dollars, right? You're talking about athletes, movie stars, tech business. Bill Gates is new money. Doesn't mean less money, just means new. As opposed to old money families. Old money means someone who inherited their wealth. Their great great grandfather owned Idaho. I don't know. But you're talking about like royalty. You're talking Paris Hilton. She didn't earn any money. She was just born into a very, very rich family. The Ford family. My great great grandfather built this country, and I haven't worked ever. Um, so that's the difference. They make it clear that West Egg is new money and therefore less fashionable. East Egg is old money. And it's also clear that this is supposed to be a metaphor for East Coast and West Coast. When you think about where all the old money families are, they'd be in New York, Philadelphia, Chicago. That's not East Coast, but you get the idea. And you think of all the new money people, they're in California. And so East Coast, old East Egg, old money, West Coast, West Egg, new money. Okay. And of course, that means that the Buchanans are old money. They didn't earn it, their parents did, or their great great grandparents. Gatsby, living in West Egg, is new money, but we don't know where his money came from. We didn't meet Gatsby yet, except at the very end of chapter one, we had this interesting scene where Nick, who lives next to him, sees him, figures he'll go and say hello, but then sees that he's having this private moment on the end of his dock, and all he can see that Gatsby seems to be looking at is a green light across the courtesy bay. And it's as if he's reaching out for this light. Nick looks away for a second, looks back, and Gatsby's gone. He's Batman. But that's just our first glimpse of Mr. Gatsby. We'll meet him soon enough. So when it comes to chapter 2, what I want you to know is where we are, okay? So it starts off by Nick saying, "This is when I met Tom's mistress." Perfect. They were on the train. Now take a look. You notice that the train goes to the city and so does the road. But right here in what they call the town, the area of Flushing, they cross, right? The road crosses the railroad. He calls it the Valley of Ashes. And this is where we will meet Myrtle, Tom's mistress. I won't get into why it's called the Valley of Ashes. Just know that on the way from the fabulous rich East Egg and West Egg to the fabulous glitz and glamour of Manhattan, the Valley of Ashes is a dump, literally. And that is where we'll meet Tom's mistress and have crazy party number 1. So enjoy chapter 2. Enjoy meeting the mistress. Keep an eye on our characters, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll be posting the assignment for chapter 2 in just a sec. Oh, before I forget, chance for some extra credit. This is the most common cover of the book. When you see this cover, I hope you've come across this. When we finish the book, I'll give you a chance to write a paragraph for extra credit on what this means. Why is this the cover of the book? Whose face is that? Take a close look in the eyes and tell me what you see. What's with the lights at the bottom? A paragraph explaining it gets you the extra credit. Take care, guys. I'll see you next week, and I'll be posting the assignment for chapter 2 in just a few minutes.